boys, his enlightenment that he's giving parents and mothers and fathers in this hour on how to deal with the public school system. Here you go, brother. How to deal with the public school system. How to counteract improper medications or diagnosis that they're giving our kids. Improper suspensions and all of those intricate and complex issues that we need to organize around, and they're very relevant to our community as parents. That's what I really respect him for, because I know that in our community there are many mothers who are struggling, many fathers who are struggling, many youth who are struggling around these issues. And it's been Dr. Umar Johnson that has dedicated his life to this work. And he's been dedicated to going around to city after city, teaching our people, educating on them and giving them pointers and clues and keys on how to counteract the conspiracy to destroy our kids, how to deal with public schools and administrators and principals and all of the adversaries for our people and our children who are locked down in what we call the killing fields of the public school system. And so without further delay, I want to welcome to Washington, D.C., first of all, it's Baba James Small. If I'm not here to introduce him, let's give him a black hand. Black hand, you don't want it. You got to be reminded that he was close to Malcolm and that he was one of the men that helped. He's still really one of Malcolm's disciples and duty-bound to carry out Malcolm's legacy on an official level. I'm talking about with the OAAU. I don't like that, but I'm going to drop this in because you haven't been in my town. And so, he'll be on later if I'm not here. I love y'all. I appreciate you. I'm here, and I want to bring on my brother, a freedom fighter in this cause, a man I respect, and a man that's going after the youth and going after Africa. I'm talking about Baba Umar Johnson.
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen. Another hand for Attorney Zulu Shabazz, brothers and sisters. Another hand, another hand, another hand. I'm going to lay something on Zulu that he probably don't even know. He brought up the Black African Holocaust Conference of Howard University back in the 90s. You listen to Zulu? Guess what? That's where we first met. I was a freshman at Millersville University, 1992. I was at the Black African Holocaust Conference, 2 years in a row. That's when we met. I was 18 years old. You don't even remember that? Yes, sir, I was there. Remember, Big Chavis was there, right when he was going through his thing with the NAACP. And Sister Soldier was there. Dr. Ben was there. That's when we first met, brother, like 20 years ago. So, well, brothers and sisters, it's an honor to come before you again. I want to thank Sister Patty for inviting me out, along with all the other brothers and sisters who are here. Always good to see my big brother, Dr. James Smalls, someone who I really honor and treasure and look up to, and like Attorney Shabazz, you know, just a real good brother who supports me in the work that I do. And I have to thank him, can't thank him enough, along with Attorney Alton Maddox, you know, and a few other brothers and sisters who have been doing this work before I've gotten into the game, but who show me a lot of love on the pathway, because you don't always get that. The love I get from Attorney Shabazz and Elder Smalls and Attorney Maddox, you don't get that. You know, some people, they feel that you're encroaching on their territory. They feel you need their permission, you know, to do things, and this whole European control of information. How in the hell can you own information? You know, but that's one of the issues we got in the so-called conscious community, and I can't underscore enough what Attorney Shabazz said as it relates to being revolutionary minded, not just in the business of gathering information. If all we're going to do is gather the information, no work ever gets done. All you're doing is getting smarter with the information, but you're not getting wiser. If we did a scientific study on the relationship between information In progress, it would be almost zero. Because all the DVDs, the documentaries, the lectures, the tours, the events, they have not equaled progress. So let's not get it twisted. Knowing more does not necessarily result in doing more. In fact, I would argue that the opposite is starting to occur. The more we know, the lazier we get. The more we know, the more negativistic we become. I speak with brothers and sisters in the conscious community, and they'll say, well, you know what? I don't think we can get out of this situation. So what the hell are you in it for then? If you don't think it's possible to overcome, why are you in it? So we got to understand that the wisdom is not in knowing, the wisdom is in the doing. We're the smartest group of Africans who probably ever walked the earth since Nile Valley culture. We know more than Malcolm's generation. We know more than Mr. Garvey's generation. We know more than Mr. Muhammad's generation. We know more than the generation of Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass. We're the smartest, but politically the dumbest. For all of our information, what have we accomplished? Where's the supermarkets at? Where's the factories? Where's the distribution networks? Where's the banks at? And the way we get out of this, brothers and sisters, let's be clear. We have to become our own political economic stimulus package. The political economy dictates that if we want to rise up as a people, we got to rise up economically as well. You cannot be solid politically and be weak economically. It's impossible. You got to do both. All politically empowered peoples are economically empowered. Or economically empowered peoples are politically empowered. Why are we not having those conversations? Yes. We still debating the finer points of history. Nothing wrong with that. But we got to get to a point where we're dealing with the here and the now. The revolution is in the here and the now. The change is in the here and the now. It's not yesterday, it's not tomorrow, it's now. So we got to become action-oriented in the present. Very important we do that. Yesterday while I was at the airport, I purchased the USA Today magazine and the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. I like to read those three. And yesterday, the United States Department of Education Office of Civil Rights released a report, first time in about 15 years that they looked at the sum total of education in America. And they found exactly what I've already taught in my presentations and in my book, and that is what, that black boys are being suspended and expelled from school at 4 or 5 times the rate of the white ones. That black pre-kindergartners, 3 and 4 and 5-year-old children are being expelled from school at a rate never seen before in American history. Half of the black high schools in America do not offer a math class above Algebra 1. This was in the report. It was in the USA Today yesterday and the New York Times. How in the hell can you have a high school that doesn't have a math class above Algebra 1? Most states require at least 4 credits of math to get a diploma. So if the school doesn't have a math credit above Algebra 1, that means what? Nobody gets a diploma. By design. And of course we got the new GED test that ain't going to do nothing but mushroom the prison industry like nothing we've never seen before. And then I'm reading through the newspaper and there's President Obama giving a lecture on this new bill he wants to push through Congress called the Equal Pay Act, or the Fair Pay Act, where he wants to equalize the amount of money that women are paid versus men, because women still make 75 cents of a dollar to every man. I don't have a problem with that. So how did you skip over all these unemployed black men, but you can find time to advocate for white women who already have a job? You fighting for people who already got a job. What about the ones who don't have one? More LGBT legislation being pushed by President Obama. New bills for the Latinos. New bills for the illegal immigrants. How is it you can take care of every other non-white group and ignore the ones that built the damn country? I'm not asking you to be a black president, because I know you really don't want to be black. So I would never put you to task. Any black man who gets on national television and calls himself a mutt in front of the world is telling you that he wish he wasn't mixed. He's telling you he wish he never had no African ancestry. You don't call yourself a mutt on national TV. So I know you're not proud of your African side, but I'm saying, look out for everybody in America. We're not asking you to be a black president. We're asking you to be president for everyone. But I gotta be honest to African people and say what? In fairness to them, as much as I can't stand them, in fairness to them, how can you expect a black elected official to carry out a black agenda when most of them are elected on white financing? The average black elected official in DC is elected off dollars from the white-controlled Democratic Party. So if it's white money putting your elected officials in office, how can they turn around and carry out the black agenda? That means we are just as responsible as Obama, as your black state rep, your black U.S. rep. We are just as responsible as they are for lack of accountability. Have you noticed that the Italian mafia rarely runs a candidate for president? They rarely run for governors. They rarely run for mayors because they understand how to get things done, and they got nothing to do with the vote. It's about economic power. They show up with a briefcase full of money. We ain't voting for nobody. We're going to go to the person in office and say, look, there's $250,000 unmarked bills in there. We need that law to get passed. And it gets passed. We have to be organized the same way. You don't totally disavow from electoral politics. You use it as you can, but we got to be clear. The vote will never work unless it's chained together with everybody else's vote. You cannot keep voting your conscience expecting to make change. Change don't come that way. Look at how the white teachers in America vote as a bloc. Look at how the European Jews vote as a bloc. Look at how all the white labor organizations, the tradesmen, they vote as a bloc. Everybody votes as a group except Negroes. We vote our conscience. And what happens is when somebody looks like you or don't look like you get into office, they don't have to do anybody's agenda. Why? Because this group wants this done. And this group wants that done. And because the people can't agree on what they want done, I ain't got to do a damn thing for nobody. So the black elected official is just as interested in you staying disorganized as the white one. Because if you get organized, now you're forcing black folks to go to war with their white friends in elected office. And that's the worst thing they want to do. The last thing, don't let nobody tell you that black people are in the condition we in because we too lazy. That's not true. Black people out here working 2 and 3 jobs. Brothers out here selling DVDs and 10 inches of snow. Ain't nothing lazy about that. To feed his sons and his daughter. We not lazy people. What makes it look that way is that we don't have access to capital. That's what gives the Korean a foot up on you in D.C. We don't have access to capital. That's what gives the East Indian a foot up on you. You don't have access to capital. That's what gets the Arab a foot up. When they show up off the boat in D.C., they come with a loan from their native bank, or they get one from Wells Fargo. They show up with a loan from the native bank, or they get it from Bank of America. Now, you've been trying to get a loan from the same bank for 20 years. Can't get it. But the Arab, the East Indian, the Chinaman, they'll show up and they'll get approved for it because they have a success record of exploiting the black dollar. There's people in China right now who can't even speak English, who's buying a one-way ticket to come to the ghetto in D.C. And you talking about be poor. How in the hell can you be poor when you make so many other people rich? Look at all the Jewish kids you put through college. Look at all the Chinese kids you put through college. Look at all the Korean kids we put through college, especially you black women. With the hair care products. Look at all their families being raised and took care of. So that was time for us to reinvest in ourselves. We have to build black credit unions. Independent, grassroots credit unions. That's the economic solution, y'all. If everybody in this room put our money in the same bowl of money. In this room right here, we're looking at about $20 million in annual income. That doesn't include your family, or your next door neighbors, or your black co-workers. That doesn't include your Mason brothers, or your fraternity brothers, your sorority sisters. If all of our money is in the same everyone in the room gets approved for the loan that they need to build infrastructure. Like Zulu said, what good is information without infrastructure? You can't eat books, you can't live inside a DVD case. You need black community infrastructure. But if you got $20 million sitting in the bank, guess what? I don't even need you to give a donation. We can take the interest off the principal and build every institution we need in D.C. off the principal. Imagine that. We don't got to pass the bucket. Just put your money in there until you spend it. As long as you guarantee to leave it here, we can take the interest and run with it. That's the economic stimulus package. There's somebody in this room that got an idea that can rival Apple computers. There's someone in this room that got an idea that can rival Walmart. Someone in this room got an idea for an automobile that might put Mercedes-Benz out of business. But guess what? It will stay a dream if you can access the capital to test your idea. That's the difference. We're not going to get it from the banks. We know that. They'll never give it to us. Black people have been made the permanent underclass, and we will stay that until we decide not to be it anymore. Black failure is the #1 business in America. Look at all the non-African people and African people who make a living because we don't do the right things by ourselves. Look at all the judges we got. Look at all the halfway houses we got. Look at all the psychiatrists we got. Probation officers you got. You got white people raising a family in the suburbs of black problems. If we would just get our situation together, brothers and sisters, you put people out of work automatically. Which is why we got to understand that the American social order is not interested in black power. We have to be. It's our job to do this. Zulu talked about the next generation of leaders and revolutionaries. We got to be politically and economically inclined. What's one of our greatest weaknesses through history? With all of our great movements, what? We had the Garvey movement, powerful economic program. Honorable Elijah Muhammad, powerful economic program. Civil rights movement, they had a little something popping off. The Black Panther movement, Black Power movement, Brother Malcolm's programs, with the Organization of Afro-American Unity. But the problem with most of them is what? One generation after the founder dies, the whole damn thing gets vanished. We have to create institutionally sustainable economic programs that live after the brink of parishes. That's our problem as a people. We don't create institutional infrastructure. We run everything off a code of personality. I don't want to be no damn code of personality. Because that means when I die, anything I was working on goes right with me. They got to be institutionalized, passed down to the next generation. We got to stop praying for leaders and start making our own damn leaders. You're the only people who pray for leadership. When the last time you seen a Jew praying for leadership? When the last time you seen an Anglo-Saxon praying for leadership? Nah, he got military colleges for that. They take them and groom them and teach them how to do it. I know, I went to a military high school. They take you from kindergarten and groom you up into leadership. The Jews teach them how to be leaders. They're not praying for one. They make them. You got to do the same thing. Our own existence, but the problem with African people is that slavery put something in us that we still ain't took out yet. It gave us an external locus of control, y'all. What is an external locus of control? In psychology, that means people with external locuses of control think that they don't have enough power to impact their reality. They got to rely on something beyond themselves. That's why church is so popular. That's why the mosque is so popular. That's why the temples are so popular. Not that they're wrong in and of themselves, but because we have an external locus of control, we believe we need God to do it for us instead of doing it for ourselves. Failing to recognize that everything you need to do it for yourself, the Almighty already put it in the packaging when you came out of your mother. We feel we gotta vote our way out of it. We gotta march our way out of it. External locus of control. Look at the Chinaman. He's not begging for laws to be changed. He's organizing amongst themselves. Guess what was on the the inside of the New York Times yesterday morning while I'm in the airport. A full cover story on the rise of nationalism. Talking about white European countries that's pulling away from capitalism, pulling away from the global economic order, the New World Order. They say we want the right to determine our own destiny. White nationalism taking over Europe. They got that from us. All these white cultural groups say we don't want nobody else telling us how to do what we want to do. We want to determine it for ourselves. The Irish are saying we don't want the British telling us nothing. The Scottish are saying we don't want the British telling us nothing. We want to make our own determinations. Where's the black nationalism? Where's the Pan-African nationalism? Why are you no longer upset that the white man is dictating your destiny? How did you become so complacent? What made you so lazy and so tired? You can take the slave out of slavery all you want, but until the slave takes the slavery out of themselves, they'll never be free. That's our problem. We think it's over. It's not over. The Willie Lynch chip still is there. And the reason we're confused about it is because we know our history. We know our culture. So you think you're no longer enslaved. How wrong can you be? It's not data that makes the slave. It's not information that makes the slave. It's dependency. So even with all the information, who's hiring you? Who's educating your children? Who's growing your food? Smart as hell, but no control over your existence. We got to change that. We got to change that. They were talking about Congress, how the Republican Party and the Democrats do, because they all snakes in the same tank, want to cut all the black folks off of welfare. They want to get rid of food stamps. And guess what? They're going to do it. It might not be in 2014, but they're going to do it. Why are they going to do it? Because what better way to cause chaos? What better way to birth a police state in the black community than to cut off the damn food stamps program? You think you got crime now? What's going to happen when our mothers raising 3 and 4 children? What's going to happen with them fathers with 4 and 5 kids? Ain't guaranteed to feed their babies. You think you got crime now? What did Marcus Garvey always say? Be prepared. What did Kwame Ture Stokely always say? You must organize. If you organize a little, you get a little done. If you organize a lot, you get a lot done. If you organize some, you get some done. But if you don't organize at all, you get nothing done. Articles talking about the special education war. Black boys first diagnosed with ADHD. And now the new ADHD criteria is even easier than the old criteria. Before you had to have like 8, 10 symptoms, now you only need 5 to get medication. You're diagnosed as young as 3 now. 2-year-olds on Ritalin. Can you imagine that? 2-year-old on Ritalin. And y'all heard about the Risperdal, right? Causing black boys to grow breasts now. It's all over the news. Y'all probably seen it. Class action lawsuit. White lawyers looking for parents whose sons are growing breasts because Risperdal is raising the prolactin hormone level in boys, causing them to grow breasts and in some cases drip milk. This is going on right now. This is current right now. Locking up the fathers and putting all the sons on medication. They don't need no drug, they need a daddy, but you don't want to deal with the fact that you're the cause of the ADHD crisis and not the black mother. All these conferences, I just got an email the other day, somebody put my name in the hat to speak at the National Association of School Psychologists convention next year. I guess they're going to focus on the African American male situation. Total nonsense. Everybody talking about we need solutions to help black boys learn. We don't know what to do. You know what the hell to do, but you're not going to do it. And that is give every black boy in America a heterosexual black male teacher, and you fix it overnight. You fix it overnight. They know this. They know this. They know it in D.C., they know it in New York, they know it in L.A., they know it in Houston, they know it in my hometown of Philadelphia. They know it. But why does it never get discussed? Why do they never get around to talking about the personnel in the classroom? Because 93% of all the teachers in America are middle-class white women. And they are not going to lay off a white woman for the sake of a black child. That's why the conversation never comes up. President Obama just started My Brother's Keeper program. Total nonsense. Throwing money at a problem. And then he just said in the newspaper the other day that he's going to put $300 million to the side for school districts that can demonstrate that they're trying to do something about the poor outcomes for black males. So you know what they're going to do? Just try. Get the money and go back to life as usual. Brothers and sisters, we got to fix this. Stop letting people make you think that our kids don't want to learn. The black boy wants to learn as much as any other child. Have you ever seen a black boy on his first day of school in kindergarten? Is anybody more motivated to go to school? Have you seen him first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade? He had to do it. Mommy, can we leave now? It's 6 o'clock in the morning. The sun ain't even out yet, but he's ready to go to school. But by the time he gets to the 5th grade, the motivation begins to drop. Now he don't even want to go. Mommy, can I just stay home on the first day? Are you looking at him like, what's wrong? You don't like education? Of course I like education, Mommy, but I don't need to get castrated to get educated, do I? The black boy's issue is not with learning. It's with the lynching that happens while he's learning. It's the psychological castration that occurs while he's learning. Stop blaming him. The problem ain't him. Keep letting all these white women off the damn hook for miseducating our kids. Schools are designed for female children, not males. It's hard for a masculine, aggressive, energized boy to succeed in a female-dominated institution. So the black boy has to deal with gendercide and genocide at the same time. Gendercide that teaches a female he's male, and genocide that teaches a white man he's black. What did Dr. Carter G. Woodson say? He said, what, that there will be no lynching in society if it didn't happen in the classrooms first. So it comes time for us to give our kids their own schooling. Parents, stop letting your kids get evaluated psychologically unless it's absolutely necessary. Stop it. Cut it the hell out. Stop. 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 Well, the teacher said we should take a look and see. That is your child, not the damn teachers. Psychological evaluations are weapons of mass destruction. The labels we use can't even be proven to exist. They are professional opinions. They are not scientific facts. Stop taking white people's opinions about your child and turning them into self-fulfilling prophecy. Put it the hell out. Well, the medicine does work, Dr. Johnson. My son been on it 2 weeks. I ain't got no calls from his teacher. Well, if I put you on some crack, you won't get no calls either. Is it worth the fact that your son might not be able to get his wife pregnant later on in life because the drugs kill his ability to produce healthy semen? Did they tell you that at the doctor's office? Did they tell you that it can cause early onset diabetes and schizophrenia at the doctor's office? Did they tell you that it can change the structure of his blood and cause blood cancer at the doctor's office? So you mean to tell me you're willing to have your son's life destroyed physically and psychologically so he can sit still long enough to be miseducated by white women from the suburbs? Is it worth that? And the black principles, and I'm not knocking my black principles because some of them care, but they're powerless to do anything about it. Why? Because even though I'm a black principal, all my teachers are white, and it's more of them than it is of me, and if I try to make them do their job, they can get me fired or switched to another school because the teacher union is way more stronger than the principals. So most black principals are not even instructional leaders. They are followers of the teacher culture. This is the reality, y'all. I'm saying all this because I'm getting tired of people saying, well, if he would just go to school and do his best, white people are going to be white people, so our kids need to get over it. Wait a minute. Find me a white parent who has ever had to tell their kids that black people are going to be racist and there's nothing you can do about it, just deal with it. Show me a Jew who's ever told his children, and in the 4th and 5th and 6th grade that I know life ain't fair, but you got to deal with it. We the only people trying to condition our kids to accept white supremacy like it's a God-ordained decree. Children are not cowards. We are. And we get mad at them for reminding us that they are not what we are. The boys who dropped out of school are the leaders that Zulu talking about. They're the leaders that Baba Smalls is talking about. They're the ones who refuse to get their spirits broken. And what do boys do when they drop out of school, or should I say get pushed out, because there's no dropout, there's only push out. They all go to the corner. What do you see all through DC? Groups of boys standing on the corner all day. A lot of them ain't selling drugs. A lot of them ain't smoking weed, so why are they just standing together? They're just feeding off each other's masculine energy, something they don't get enough of. Boys need masculine energy. And mothers, if your son is locked up, if your son's father is locked up, you got to take that boy to go see his father in jail. I'm getting tired of mothers talking about, it's not my fault he's locked up. I agree with you. It's not his fault he's locked up, but it is your fault that you had his baby. And you should have thought about that when you did that. And now that that child is here, you got to take that boy to go see his father, because an incarcerated daddy is still a father. Let that boy have that boy, his father. The child of an incarcerated father is 9 times as likely to go to jail himself. I want you mothers to hear me. And I want you fathers to hear me, because we ain't got a good percentage of black men who are single fathers. And you need to know that your son and daughter still need their mother. And if the mother is incarcerated, you got to take those children. Because if you don't take them, they're more likely to end up in jail themselves. These are the things we got to do. Black women, y'all got to get over y'all sisterhood conflicts, because our young girls need y'all. And y'all petty differences is leaving them without the role models that they need. Our girls need the mentorship as much as the boys need, and they cannot get it. The petty differences amongst black women are so significant that it's leading so many of our young girls with no type of leadership from nowhere. If I were to start a rites of passage for black men, every man in here would volunteer. Now some of them probably wouldn't show up, but they would all volunteer. Black men generally don't have a problem helping black boys, but it ain't the same with black women. There's a pettiness there. I don't want to work with teenage girls because they're too full of themselves. They think they're too grown. There's always a reason why the older sister can't give to the younger sister, and the younger sister can't give to a younger sister. We need the unity, y'all. And unity ain't easy. You might got to fight for it. You might got to die for it. Unity dictates that you keep your ego in check. Because black people are an ego-castrated people. So whenever you upset one of us, you not only get a reaction for what you've done, you get a reaction for every pain we ever been through our entire lives. That's why we overreact all the time, because we don't just carry our own drama. We carry the trauma of all of our ancestors, whose DNA and energy is in our bloodstream right now. Could you imagine every ancestor who has ever lived from your 4 roots, you carry their energy in your DNA. It's chained to you forever. And our ancestors scream out for redemption right now. They're screaming out. Isn't it amazing that whenever one of our leaders get killed, nobody suffers the consequence? White man murdered Malcolm, white man murdered King, white man murdered Medgar, white man murdered Khaled for all we know, poisoned Mr. Garvey for all we know, Huey P. Newton, white man murdered him, Patrice Lumumba, white man, Steve Biko, look at all of them. Nobody suffers. Is black life that cheap now? And I'm not saying you got to get violent in the first phase of revolution, but you got to do something to give the enemy pause. George Washington, cracker father of the United States of America, what did he say? He said there's nothing is more likely to promote peace. Nothing is more likely to promote peace than for your enemy to know that you are prepared to meet him square on. I knew Michael Dunn was going to walk after they let Zimmerman get off. Why do I know? Because all behavior is a function of consequence. And there was no consequence when Zimmerman walked. And there was no consequence when Dunn walked. So guess what? You're going to get more white folks killing innocent black children, and they're going to walk too. Because we have gotten too complacent with our oppression. Black people are complacent with their oppression and we selfish as hell. It bothers me when I hear people say they should bring back segregation. Because when we were segregated, we was forced to work together. You telling me that your enemy got to make you work together? Ain't nobody forcing the Chinese to be segregated, they doing it on their own. Nobody forcing the East Indians to be segregated, they doing it on their own. I was in Trinidad and Tobago last weekend. Brothers and sisters told me down there that all the drugs that come into the Caribbean is coming in on East Indian ships. There's more East Indians living in Trinidad and Tobago than black people. Now they run the damn island. The president is East Indian. I'm in Suriname. East Indians run Suriname. Small country right next to Brazil. So the Chinese man that took half of Africa, the white man took the other half of Africa, East Indian got the Caribbean, and everybody else taking over the grocery stores in the black community. We don't own nothing nowhere on the face of the earth. And that's why when we say it got to be revolutionary Pan-African nationalism, you got to understand something. We might not have the guns, we might not have the bombs, we might not have the control of the land, but the one thing we do got that nobody else got over us, and that is more people. If all African people rose up together, be it politically, be it economically, be it physically, but if you rise up together as one globally, you will overwhelm the security force. If blacks in America rise up and you don't get no support from Canada or London, they'll crush it because the entire force of white supremacy will come to America to put us down. If they rise in Africa with no support from America, same thing. Caribbean, same thing. You need an international rising. You need an international rising of African people all at once to overwhelm the police force of white supremacy. And the white man knows it. They said Homeland Security now is taping every international phone call made in this country. This was in the newspaper yesterday. Soon when you dial somebody who doesn't live in America, they automatically start taping your conversation. And the American Civil Liberties Union wants to sue because they said it's a violation of privacy. But the government is saying it's a national security issue because they see African people reaching out beyond the borders of America to build with their brothers and sisters from around the world. They see this. They see the more flights we take. Like Zulu said, I gotta go through the same thing. Soon I get off the airplane, special room. Gotta sit there for an hour. Why were you there? This is your 8th time going to London. For what? This is what they asked me. You just came back from Canada again. What are you doing over there? Visiting my friends from college. Bullshit! This is what they do every time they scan the passport. Beep, 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 beep. Over there, more questions. Who do you work for? What do you do for a living? I work for the school district of Philadelphia, the school psychologist. That's been getting me through so far. In my last 7 minutes, I want to focus on the topic that Sister Patty asked me to deal with, and that is reaching God consciousness, spirituality. I'm a firm believer that we will not be able to solve our political economic situation until we solve our spiritual situation. One of the things we have to do spiritually, number one, what's the first thing African people have to do spiritually? To make sure that our spiritual energy is in line with our political economic interests. We got to restore the divine feminine principle to our religious activity. We have to do that. Father God, Father God, Father God is good. But when do you start with Mother God? It must be a balance. That's the first thing that we have to do. You cannot keep lifting up the masculine and leaving the feminine down. We're out of balance. And if our spirituality is out of balance, our political economics will be as well. We have to fight on both fronts. That's another contradiction when you study our history. Across movements, across ideology. The one, no sustainable economic program. The second, most of our movements did not tap into traditional African spirituality. Most of them didn't. They were Muslim or Christian, and that's fine. You don't have to give that up, but we got to bring in some of that ashe from African culture. What's the second thing that we have to do? We got to do a better job at forgiving people, black folks. I can tell you right now, as a therapist, most of our mental health issues, number one, come from racism, and number two, come from the fact that we don't want to forgive people. We walk around with grudges that turn into cancer, turn into heart disease, turn into stroke, turn into diabetes. And what makes it so hard for black people to forgive other black people? Because we don't think they're worthy of it. The ego says, who are you to offend me? Do you know how special I am? You don't ever offend me. But at the same time, the ego doesn't want to remember all the time it offended other people. Forgiveness is not for the person who wronged you, brother and sister. Forgiveness is for you. It helps you lighten your own burden. Forgiveness is you forgiving the other person because you know you're going to need it yourself down the road. You got to get into the art of forgiveness. Some of us think we're forgiving people when we haven't. But the pain is still there. The hurt, the anger is still there. The best way to forgive somebody is to tell them to their face. That's when you know you have to forgive because the ego is forced to bow low for you to let that go by. So forgiveness, third thing we got to do. We got to check our core beliefs that we have about ourselves and other people and African people. Cognitive psychology is based on the belief that all mental health is based on the core beliefs you hold about yourself. Do you think you're a lovable person? I know a lot of sisters who don't think they're capable of being loved. Their self-esteem is so low that they subconsciously attract to them men who are no good for them because they think they deserve to be punished on the deepest level. Yes! You hate yourself, but you don't want to punish yourself, so you're going to date somebody who do all the punishing for you. Men do it too. We got to check that out-of-control mind that we have. All of our minds are on autopilot, being ran by tapes from the subconscious. Well, what do I do, Dr. Umar, if I keep on hearing negative tapes playing in my head? How do I switch them out? You got to reprogram the subconscious. It's called meditation and mantra. It's called meditation and mantra. Every last one of you need to have 10 mantras, 10 positive, affirmative statements that speak so strongly to your soul that whenever you say it to yourself, it just changes your whole vibration. And every day for at least an hour, you go into the dark matter, you go into the silence, and you repeat that mantra. What are you doing? You're drowning out the old tape with the new one. Remember, the subconscious is the creature of what? Repetition. So if you're always telling yourself, I'm no good, I'm no good, I'm no good, even here listening to Dr. Umar speak, your subconscious is still saying, I'm no good. So in order to change that tape, you got to say something that's 50 times more powerful, 50 times more frequently. It's a hard job, brothers and sisters. You work for 8 hours, you got to take care of the kids for a couple hours, you want to hang out with your peoples for another couple hours. How do you find time for mantra and meditation? You better make time. In fact, I would argue to you that even if you sleep for 8 hours a night, you might want to forsake 3 of those hours for meditation and mantra. It's that important because when you go to sleep, your brain doesn't stop telling you that you ain't shit. It keeps going all night. Are y'all following me? Okay? Your brain is on while you sleep, and that's why sometimes you go to sleep feeling worse, and you wake up feeling worser. You're like, why do I feel worse? I thought when I slept it off, I would have woke up better. No, because the whole time you slept, the thought you went to bed with kept on playing to the unconscious mind. Most of our tapes come from our parents. The conditioning come from mom and dad. Whatever your mom and father constantly told you about yourself from birth to age 12, you kept on telling yourself from age 12 to today. Most of us are haunted by the ghost of our parents. If you had parents who filled you with positive affirmations about yourself, high self-esteem, ain't nobody better than you. You can achieve anything you want. Don't worry about making a mistake. You get up and do it right the next time. If you had those type of parents, those Marcus Garvey type parents, nothing you face you can't conquer. Some of you were blessed enough to have that, but then some of us were not. Some of us were raised by parents who had those old dirty tapes fed to them by their parents, and all they could do was feed them to you because it's the only thing they knew. So now it's your job to get them out of you so you don't affect the next generation with that. These are the things we have to work on, brothers and sisters. Solitude. Increase your amount of solitude. How often are you alone by yourself with no radio, no cell phone, no internet, no TV? You need silent time. When you look at the statues of the kings and queens in Kemet, you notice that most of them are sitting in chairs. You know what they're doing? That's meditation and mantra. Most of the time, the artist would create the artwork when The king and queen was in meditation and mantra because they would be in that for a couple hours. Best time to get them. They're not sitting there posing. It's meditation and mantra going on. Remember the symbol of Tahuti? The caduceus. Stolen by the American Medical Association. You have a pole in the middle. That's your spine. You got a circle at the top. That's your pineal gland. You got wings. That's your spirit. You got two snakes representing the masculine and feminine aspects of the soul. They start from down here, the base of the spine, the belly. You got the razor. Most of us never get past the first chakra. Half of us in the room still living our life based off sex and hunger, sex and hunger, sex and hunger. You never get the deep thought, sex and hunger, sex and hunger. I'm cold, I'm hot, sex and hunger. Basic animalistic instinct. You got to raise them snakes. The third, raise them snakes. Activate the fourth, raise them snakes. Activate the fifth, the sixth, the seventh. The idea is to raise the vibration of your soul so strong that it meets right here at the door, no return, the third eye. And now you are rejoined with your essence. Almighty God. That's what Jesus was doing. That's what Moses, Muhammad, Buddha, all of them were masters of God consciousness. We the ones who made a religion out of it. They were simply trying to tell you how to get there, and you took it and made a religion out of it with songs and shit and all this other stuff. Let me say this as I'm prepared to wrap this up and make way for my esteemed elder. The path to God consciousness is a very personal one. Can't nobody give you no preconceived prescription. You got to do this. For one sister, she might pray more than the next sister. Prayer resonates with her. Another brother, he might meditate more than another brother. Meditation works for him more. Another brother, fasting works better. Another brother, singing, dancing, African drumming might work better. You got to find what works best for your spirit. What worked for Jesus ain't work for Muhammad. What worked for me ain't gonna work for you. You got to come up with your own recipe for spiritual redemption. But it's possible. You know what keeps us chained? Our addictions and our attachments. It is hard to go up when you're still holding on to something down here. Most of us attached to food, attached to sex, attached to music, attached to sleep, attached to laziness. You got to give up attachments because attachments become addictions. Alcoholism, cigarette smoking, addicted to anger, addicted to your ego, addicted to a certain man, addicted to a certain woman. Until you come to the realization that you don't need anything outside of you to do something about what's inside of you, you cannot be free. The revolution will not only not be televised, it will not be shared by anybody else with you. And when you get on that path to God consciousness, it may become so revolutionary for you that you might got to question who you with. Because a lot of us are dating people who are not conducive to our spiritual path. What is the one thing that's necessary for spiritual work? Peace of mind. So how in the hell can you do meditation and mantra when you come home to a complaining ass man or woman all day? How do you make time for meditation and mantra when the person you share your bed with is unhappy and depressed all the time? Your partner is supposed to support your evolution. If they can't, they're only working against you. That's why we got to do a better job assessing our partners when we look at marriage and dating. Is this person conducive to what I'm trying to get done spiritually? And make no mistakes, brothers and sisters, as I wrap this up. Don't ever tell me that you're spiritual and there's no political, economic impact in your community from you. I'm going to go back to what my brother says. Professor Smalls talks about the same thing. We got all these African spiritual people who don't mean a damn difference to their community. How in the hell can you be so spiritual and do nothing for nobody but yourself? How can you be so spiritual and you're creating nothing, doing nothing for nobody's children? It is impossible. economically if you are truly a spiritual force. Look at all the great ones in history. Every one of them was persecuted. Because when you really know that you are a manifestation of God consciousness, it forces you to do. It forces you to do. And let me say this. Don't over-intellectualize spirituality. That's not going to help you. Some people will break it down concept for concept. Are y'all following me? It's like this, and you do this, and there's this, and this, and the count, bottom, top. But they've never experienced it. Listen to me. I can tell you how good an ice cream cone tastes. I can describe it to you. But until you've tasted it yourself, the lesson meant nothing. This is an experiential journey, not an intellectual one. Meditation and mantra means the mind stops acting. You shut the mind down and give the spirit time to rise. That's what charas means. The spirit that rises, Christ. To become a Christ, you got to shut the mind down. So anyone who's over-intellectualizing about the spiritual journey too much, you know they really not on it. Because it's something that only you can walk yourself. You need the instruction, you need the guidance, you do need that education, but the experience is something altogether differently. In conclusion, brothers and sisters, I want to remind you all, if I can ever do anything to help your children, as you fight to raise them amongst this racist system in which we live, never hesitate to call on me. If you haven't gotten my new book, it'll be available after Dr. Small speaks this evening. Get a copy, read it cover to cover. You need that information. My mothers, read the chapter on dealing with disruptive behavior without drugs. Y'all need that chapter. Too many of our women are raising sons to be the exact type of men they would never want to date their damn self. I commend y'all for the tough job. It ain't easy raising boys, and I thank you ladies for what you've had to do. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I blame the brothers in D.C. who saw you struggling and would not help you with that boy. That's who I blame. But I need you to do a little bit better job, because your job is to teach that black boy self-control and discipline. And if he ain't got that by the time he leaves your house, white supremacy will be waiting to swallow him up. Last thing, we working on the school. My brother Rico's still here. Right there, that's my architect, brothers and sisters, young brother. He's designing the school plan for us, the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. We're looking at about 500 million. We're going to do a national fundraiser to raise that money for the school. It ain't going to be cheap. It's a multi-million-dollar project. It's a multi-million-dollar project, but our children deserve that much. So that's what I'm fighting to do. Okay? As my big brother said, as my elder says all the time, we got to work our way out of this situation. We cannot intellectually masturbate. Frederick Douglass said, if there is no struggle, there is no progress. Those who profess the faith of freedom and deprecate agitation are like men who want crops without plowing up the ground. They want the rain but can't stand the thunder or the lightning. They want the ocean but can't deal with the awful roar of its waters. He said the struggle we have might be moral, or it might be physical, or it might be both moral and physical, but it must be a struggle. He said, for 20 years I prayed on my knees to God for freedom, but the good Lord gave me no freedom until I got up off my knees. Up off my knees. And started praying with my feet. Men may not get all they pay for in this world, but you will certainly pay for all you get. And if we are going to be free, then we ourselves will strike the first blow. No one else can do this for us. If a man is laying on his face, leave him down, don't help him up. Because if he ain't ready to stand on his own 2 feet soon, you let him go, he falls back down anyway. So if you didn't help him, you hurt him. Do for self. Love thyself. One God, one aim, one destiny. I say, brothers and sisters. Give it to him. Give us tall black hair. Give it to him. Dr. Umar, I feel like that. Black power, black power. Black power, black power. All right. Give him another strong black hand.
from city to city, state to state, and even nation to nation, seeking to wake up and inspire and educate our people. I really appreciate it because it makes me feel like the work that I've done and am doing is a little bit easier now when I see the work of my brother. Now I'm going to ask you something about yourself as we prepare to bring on our master teacher for the evening. 10 words or less. Give me a few of y'all. It's 21 days to discover. And what he's teaching reminds me of a mantra or a teaching that my teacher taught me. He said, my mind is on Mars, but my behind is behind bars. Some of our minds are on Mars, but our behinds are behind bars. And so, while we're concerned with all of these high and lofty spiritual matters, we know about Venus and Mars, spaceships and all of that. All of that's fine. But 21 days to discover, I want to know, with all of these conscious, enlightened persons here, can you tell me in 10 words or less, what is going to be your contribution to this revolution? What is going to be your contribution to this liberation struggle here in 2014? So our Father can come on and give us our marching orders. Talk to me. Black conscious, spiritual conscious, African conscious, cosmological conscious,